What?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, and welcome to the Sweating Palms podcast.
That gives me so much anxiety.
Me too. I'm like, all right, and we're gonna do it now.
I can say words.
We are been talking for minutes now. We've known words for moments and
segments of time.
Yeah, that. So hello and welcome. This is episode 14 of the Sweating Palms podcast.
Very nice.
Wow, look at us go.
Yeah.
We're kicking ass and taking names. Thank you to all of our listeners for tuning in. And I mean, I don't know, we're the podcast that, if for those of you who maybe haven't tuned in before, we talk about why our palms sweat. We're trying to find you answers for why you have sweaty palms. That's probably how you came across this podcast, because you were trying to Google, how do I get rid of these super sweaty palms?
The answer is not deodorant.
No, we've tried that. It didn't work very well.
No.
Nope. And don't ever lick your hands after you put deodorant on it. Oh, just me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Is that real?
I mean, I don't know. But if it were, I just don't think it's generally
If
a
it
good
were,
idea.
I would lick it.
Absolutely. So no, we don't actually talk about why our palms are sweating, but we talk about things that make our palms sweat, such as, spooky stories in October and embarrassing stories and I survived stories, true crime stories,
Murder.
Murder. We do murder here. We also cover love stories and lighthearted things, just things because we're just generally anxiety riddled, awkward people. And this is the thing that resonates with us.
Yeah, we decided to broadcast all of those weird, uncomfortable vibes to you.
Yeah, because you like it, right? Tell us you like it. France! Speaking of France, France is listening again. I think they love the attention that we're giving them.
I hope so. Because it's a lot.
Don't worry, though. Canada is still staying consistent. So consistent. Good job, Canada. I'm proud of you. You are number one.
Holding it down.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. We also, Alaska, all you people all over the place who've been listening, who've been consistently listening. I see you. We see you. I mostly see you, but I tell everyone about it. And thank you very much. So to start us off, we're going to get it off our chest a little bit. Just vent about stuff going on in our lives. Kara. Oh, hey. No, wait. You're Kara.
I'm Kara.
I'm Jenna.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm Kara.
Yeah. You're Kara and I'm Jenna. But we talk about things that have been going on. We just kind of let go of all the stuff that we're holding on to at the beginning of the episode. So, Kara, tell me, what is on your mind?
Oh, boy. Jenna,
That's
I've had a lot on my mind, actually.
Oh.
This week has sucked. Big time sucks.
Oh.
Big, giant wad of suck.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So last week, my oldest brother actually went into the ICU for kidney failure.
Oh, no.
And it was really hard because he's already having severe health complications. He has lymphoma. And so having kidney failure is a really big deal. Well, it's a big deal anyways, excuse me. But on top of these health complications that he's having, it's a big deal. And as you can imagine, all the things that come with that. And yeah, I've just had a really hard time with it. I really kind of freaked out big time personally. And luckily, so he left the hospital on Sunday. So a couple days ago, and he's actually doing much better than he has been for a
good.
while because of his hospital stay. Like, you know, obviously, like having people really taking care of him in that kind of setting helped a lot.
Yeah.
And so I guess, like, I just want to say that, like, you know, just like love yourself deeply and like love the people that are around you deeply and like give patience to yourself and grace to yourself and to the people around you. I think that's just like one of the best things that you can do for yourself in the world that you are in.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I'm really sorry that you had to like have that kind of stress. And I'm glad to hear that your brother is, you know, out of the ICU, out of the hospital, doing better.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good. That is a really stressful thing. Actually, I also know somebody in the ICU right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And that it is stressful, and I can't imagine how like this person's mother and brother are feeling. He's in a he's in a coma right now.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, and he's been on dialysis and has some complications. So yeah, it's not good. I mean, I can imagine how stressful that all was.
Yeah, you're like right there in it too. Like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to. I'm not trying to.
No. But you are though. Like, you know, I feel like what you're saying to me is that you're really like. It's surprising to me to get to hear that you're actually like experiencing something really similar. Like, it's nice to me actually, because that's the thing is like when really like crazy extra fucked up shit happens, you really feel alone in it. Like that's been my really big thing is I've been just like freaking out internally, like mega panic. And I just feel like I can't even talk about it, you know, because I'm like, nobody else is experiencing this and I don't even know how to say it out loud, you know?
Yeah. No, and I do understand where you're coming from, and there is a lot of comfort in that. I'm glad that you take comfort in that and don't think that I'm just being like, well, I also know somebody who's having a hard time. Like,
no, not at all. Not at all.
But I know, and like a couple years ago, my grandmother was in the ICU, and they didn't know if she was going to make it when you're in the ICU. Yeah. And they said, you know, if we don't see progress in 24 hours, like she probably won't make it.
Oh my
God. It was really scary because like, and my grandma's not like a, 80-year-old grandma. She's like barely turned 60.
Oh, wow. Time. Yeah. She's super young.
She was very young. Yeah. And so, and it was, she's a person who raised me and somebody who was there. And it was really hard because you don't feel like you have all these thoughts going through your mind of this person. And now you don't know what's happening. We're just kind of waiting.
Yeah.
It's just this time of waiting and we'll see what happens.
Right. And it's like everything, it's like your whole world just like slows down as it is like falling apart and all you can do is wait. But then the whole world is still like happening all around you.
Yeah.
Like everything else speeds up, but your world slows down and you're just like sitting there in like the middle of the chaos.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that makes me so happy that you got some good, like something, it didn't go the way it could have. Like, it was like, okay, like we made it through this thing that happened. Now let's really like kind of snaps you into perspective. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Like he went into the hospital and I was like, oh, like he's gonna die. And I was just like freaking the fuck out. And like, so yeah, it's like you have to like take what you can get in these situations. And what we got is that he's out of the hospital and he's healthy right now. And yeah, it's like, that's what you hold on to. Yeah.
Good. I'm sorry if I didn't mean to get too into it either. I'm like, I don't know how to navigate situation.
Oh, no, me neither. Well, and that's what I was like, you know, we were hanging out before we started recording and I was like, like, this is what I have to get off my chest. But I'm like, I just don't even know if I should, you know, put that on here. I'm like, I don't know how to navigate that. I don't know. But I mean, that's what it is, right? Like, this is uncomfortable for me. This is really hard. So let's talk about it.
Well, thank you for sharing it.
Okay,
for
what
sure.
do you got for me?
Well, my man. Well,
it's all peas and cucumbers. It's fine.
well, I don't know if you've heard about this game called Among Us.
No, I don't think so.
Oh my God. What? Okay. So, okay.
I'm like an old lady. I'm out of the loop.
So Among Us is a game, like, I play it on my phone. I guess some people play it on the computer. Montana got me hooked on it. And
Nerd.
I am too. It's fine. I'm an undercover nerd. He got me hooked on it. And basically what it is you're like these little space guys. There's 10 little space guys and you're playing with people from all over. It's through the internet. And you're on like a spaceship is like basically the premise. And you go through and you have to like complete these tasks on the spaceship. And they're like cute little tiny little characters.
Oh, I think I've seen like memes about it. And, you know, I'm like, what is this?
What is? I don't understand this.
Everything's confusing.
Ah, it hurts. Yeah. My knee. So yeah, and then so there's 10 of you normally, like traditionally, and then 1 to 3 of you are the imposter, and you're like a traitor, and so then you go around and like chase them and like.
Oh,
It is so much fun. I watched Montana play, and then when somebody dies, you report the body, and then you like chat with all the people, and they're like, "Oh, this person's sus. Like this person's
that's
suspicious."
so fucked
and, like,
up because 9 times out of 10, it's the person that is the imposter that's like, oh, fuck this guy. Have you been watching them?
It is so much fun. This game, I am obsessed with it. I've been playing it way too much and neglecting everything else in my life. Not my children, but like everything else.
Everything that can be neglected is getting neglected.
Neglected houseplants, you're dead.
Good thing they're succulents.
Good thing, yeah. Sorry, guys. So yeah, it's really a lot of fun. And then you can like, so me and Montana will play in the same group. And this is what I need to get off my chest, okay?
Uh-oh.
Is that Montana is sus AF. He is the biggest backstabber. I'm like, we're playing this game and he's like, oh yeah. Well, because we don't like it when people will be in the same room with each other playing and they'll be like, oh, kill this person, or they'll team up and do it.
Yeah.
So we're like keeping it a secret, but then I'll be like, oh, like I'll follow him around and he'll say something about a task he's doing or something, but he's faking it. And then he killed me, and it was like 4 games that we played together, and every time he would like sell me out or he would kill me or like,
damn,
it was
that's
just
cold.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah. And I got really upset about it. And I'm like, I can't believe you would do that to me. You can't just kill me. I meet people online on this game who are like, I would never kill you. And you're over here just freaking running me over with the bus, basically.
He's got to get that harbored aggression out somehow.
It was so rude. And yeah, it was a whole thing. He just killed me. And I'm like, you know what? This is why. This is why I don't trust people. This is like every relationship I've had, just comes flooding back to me. I trust you with all my heart, and you just stab me right through it with your long tongue.
Oh.
It's a game thing.
That's kinky.
Oh, no. No. What?
Sorry.
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
It's a thing.
Yeah, this is that terrible sexual innuendo thing that we were talking about.
That makes everyone uncomfortable.
Yeah, I hope
That's
you're
okay.
uncomfortable.
I called you sexy earlier on accident.
It was the funniest thing. I laughed so hard and it made me so happy because it was just so unexpected and I felt like I needed it in the way that it was just so different. Like nobody calls me sexy. Tal calls me sexy, but nobody else, not Jenna, when I'm like, hey, I'm on my way. And she's like, okay, sexy. And I'm like, whoa, that's spicy. Wow.
Spicy. We need to tell the people what's happening now. Because that's not entirely what happened, but it is definitely what happened from her perspective. Because we have this kind of long running, you have a moth tattoo.
I do.
We both listen to MFM.
Correct.
There was a Mothman. They do a bunch of stuff with Mothman, I feel like. I don't know.
Because it's fucking hilarious and amazing and such a juicy story anyways.
Yes. And so, if you have to burp, let it out, girl.
I'm trying to be sneaky over here. I just look like I'm throwing up on my shoulder, but
I just
I'm
find
burping.
a puddle of puke later.
In the couch cushions, on your kid's Spider-Man pillow.
That's my Spider-Man pillow, first of all.
I assumed it was Spencer's.
I think I originally bought it for Spencer, but
then you stole it.
Yeah, it's mine now.
That's how it works.
That's how it works. So yeah, there's been a whole thing, and I knew that Kara was super interested in Mothman. So anytime I see Mothman stuff, I send her it. So I sent her a Mothman meme, and it inspired me. Jenna sends me this Mothman meme, and obviously Halloween is just around the corner, and I was like, holy shit, I need to be Mothman for Halloween, but I should be sexy Mothman for Halloween. Yeah. I'm here for it. So then she proceeds to send me this beautiful, beautiful photo of her design. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. It's an expert rendition done on my kid's like Crayola sketchbook with one of her shitty markers. Yeah, maybe we'll just have to post a picture of it. It's pretty good design, in my opinion. I don't know.
It is very intricate and detailed. I highly suggest looking for it on social media because it is a work of art.
Now I for sure have to be Mothman for Halloween so we can do like a comparison of, and not that like any costume that I make will be better than the sketch that I did because I can't sew. I'm going to try, but I am not good at it at all.
I'm here for it. I'm so ready for this costume.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and so then I finally replied after she also told me that she's on her way here to record. And I said...
It's like a full 24 hours later, too. I send you the picture, and then I sent you the picture last night.
No.
Yes, last night. And then I texted you saying, I'm on my way today, which is like literally like 24 hours later. And then you said, okay, sexy. And so I assumed that you were talking about, I thought you were just happy to see me. I don't know.
I am. I am. That wasn't a sword in my sheath. I was just happy to see you.
Oh, yeah. Also, Jenna's dressed like a pirate.
Right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just, Kara opens the back door to find me out back in my pirate costume, and she just shuts the door in my face. I was once a pirate. That's what we're trying to say.
Yeah, I definitely felt that way when I saw you in your pirate costume. That's why I shut the door. It was, my eyes were truly blinded by the gathering of all the seams of reality all together.
You weren't ready for what you saw. I understand.
My feeble human mind could not take it.
Oh, look away!
Avert your eyes!
Oh, yeah, so we have a whole lot going on, apparently.
It's a shit show, like usual.
It's what else can you expect from us, truly? And on that note, hop on your segways because we're going for a ride.
Good job.
Thank you. Who goes first?
I don't know. I'm waiting for you to tell me. Usually,
I think you should go first because if I did your story, we're a little nervous this week that I did Kara's story or that she did my story or vice versa. So I think you should go first because I definitely can fill the air with anything.
Okay. I'm down.
All right.
Okay. I'm ready to be first.
Okay.
So this week, I wrote an actual story that is not from me or somebody that I know. And you inspired me to look it up based off of the last episode when I was talking about how ghosts scare me.
Yeah.
So this is the real story of Annabelle.
Oh no! Okay. Didn't she just escape? Didn't she just go like missing or something?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, girl. Okay, we're gonna have to look this up.
Like in the movies or in real life?
In real life.
What?
In real fucking life, girl.
Oh, well,
what?
Okay, look it up because I wrote this story like 2 weeks ago now.
Annabelle doll disappearance. It went missing from the Warrens Occult Museum in Connecticut, August 14th, 2020.
How did this not come up when I was... Oh my God, I'm so disappointed in myself right now.
That's okay. I just know, well, I've heard about Annabelle the doll before, and obviously after the movie came out. I don't remember a goddamn thing about anything ever. Mm-hmm. So this is all news to me, girl, and I'm excited, but I remember also seeing memes about her. I'm on Facebook constantly.
Yeah, you were talking about how dolls scare you a lot. And I was like, oh, well, then I know what I'm going to tell Jenna about next time.
Thanks. Wow. I'm so I'm excited.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. So I've never seen the movies because I don't watch horror movies because they scare me like after I'm done watching them and for months and years past that.
Same.
Yeah. But yeah, so I decided to look this up and I was not disappointed.
Ooh.
Let me just say that. Okay, so the real Annabelle story starts in 1970. Two nursing students, Donna and Angie, were living in an apartment together. Donna's turning 28, and her mother decides to get her a birthday present.
Oh no, what could it be?
Well, and also, she's 28. Her mom gets her a Raggedy Ann doll.
Oh.
So the real Annabelle is not a porcelain doll like in the movie.
Yeah.
It's a just like generic Raggedy Ann doll. Weird present for a 28-year-old? I don't know.
It's a little, yeah. I mean, my grandma collects dolls. She likes the real life baby looking dolls.
Oh, that's the worst.
My great grandmother makes dolls. I know.
You got to ask her for some stories because I don't know. I feel like somebody that makes dolls probably has good stories.
Maybe. She might. For sure. So Annabelle's a Raggedy Ann doll?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. It was like when the Raggedy Ann dolls came out. So it was like super in at the time. So shortly after Donna brings this doll home, Donna and Angie start noticing some troubling behavior from it.
Oh!
Yeah, I personally don't want any kind of behavior happening from a doll. I don't know.
No.
At first, it seems like the doll is like moving a bit on its own.
Mm.
So, yeah, it seems like the doll starts to kind of move on its own. Like, they set it down in one position and then, they notice it again and it's in a different position, like a slightly different position. So at first it's not super concerning. They're just like, oh, that's strange.
Yeah.
But like, who knows? Maybe I'm wrong.
Right. Like, oh, that's kind of odd. I don't remember it being this way.
Yeah. But so over time, it kind of gets harder to ignore.
Mm-hmm.
They start to find the doll in more like troubling scenarios. So like they leave the doll like sitting in its little doll bed thing that they have for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they find the doll standing on its own.
Oh.
This is a Raggedy Ann doll. So
right,
just
like you shouldn't do that.
No. Yeah. No. They find the doll leaning against a dining room chair. And possibly the most frightening of all, they find the doll kneeling. And given the soft nature of the doll, they when they find the doll, they try to like recreate it and make the doll like kneel again.
Yeah.
And they can't do it. When they try to make the doll kneel, it just unfolds because it's a soft, like the limbs of the doll are small. So they try to make it kneel and it just unfolds. So
Oh
it's
my
like
God.
they find this
Yeah.
doll in this like really unnatural position and then they can't make it do it again on their own, you know?
Yeah.
They also begin to see the doll like moving in their peripherals.
No.
Yeah, so they're like standing and out of their peripherals, they see the doll like move across the room.
Oh my God, I hate this so much.
It's super fucking creepy.
I don't like that.
I did. I was like laughing maniacally the entire time I was looking at this story.
Like nervous, like,
Yeah.
I don't like this.
Yeah. No, and yeah, I big time freaked myself out actually. Yeah, and they also, Donna and Angie also begin to find the doll in rooms where like the door was closed.
Mhm.
So like the doll would be sitting in one room and then they would find it like in their bedroom even though the door was shut. As if like the doll was somehow like able to get the door open or something like that.
Yeah.
Very fucking troubling. One day, Donna finds what appears to be blood on the hands and chest of the doll.
God.
And smart girl at this point, well, pretty smart girl. At this point, she decides to contact a medium.
Uh-huh.
So I guess at least she's trying. She's not just like, I'm gonna just keep ignoring it. I
Right.
guess this is normal.
Ah.
The medium holds a seance in the apartment and tells Donna and Angie that the doll is possessed by the spirit of a young girl who died near the apartment. The girl's name was Annabelle Higgins. Donna and Angie believe the spirit of the doll is innocent. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. They
Yeah.
made a whole ass movie about it, so I don't believe that.
Sus.
Sus.
Donna and Angie begin finding notes written in pencil in childlike handwriting on
Oh.
parchment paper in their apartment that they believe to be left by the doll. The notes would say things like, help us and help Lou. Okay, so when I was reading the story, this is when I started to be like, oh, this is bullshit. But it gets creepier because Donna and Angie didn't own parchment paper. Like this specific kind of paper that the notes were written on was not within their apartment.
Oh my God.
And yeah, so they had no idea where the paper was coming from.
Okay.
And then so when I was like, okay, this is kind of bullshit, I just kind of assumed that it was Donna's roommate Angie fucking with her, you know,
Right.
like Donna gets this doll and Angie's like, oh, like let's play a trick on Donna kind of deal.
Yeah.
That is until I like read more into this story and you realize that the doll actually kind of like really seeks out Angie. Like it fucks with Angie, the roommate, more than anyone. And it fucks with Angie's boyfriend, Lou, the most of all.
Okay.
Which is super troubling. So Lou is Angie's fiance, not boyfriend, and Lou has been staying with Donna and Angie in their apartment that they have together. And apparently Lou like immediately got bad vibes from the doll. And he even initially was telling Donna that the doll was evil and like telling her that like she needed to get rid of it and like this doll's evil, bad vibes, red flags, get it out, you know?
Right.
You're 28, why do you have a doll? Get your life together.
Come on. We don't need Raggedy Anns hanging around here, especially when they're moving across the room in your peripheral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So poor Lou. One night he wakes up realizing that he can't move.
Oh.
The Annabelle doll is sitting at the foot of his bed.
No.
The doll then glides up his legs and onto his chest. The doll begins strangling him until he blacks out. Lou wakes up in the morning and believes strongly that this wasn't a dream and that it absolutely happened. And so, I mean, in my mind, I'm like, maybe he had sleep paralysis.
Right.
Even if he did, that's fucking horrifying.
Yeah.
And like, he's still being like, you know, horribly fucked with by the spirit of this doll. Like, even if it was just like a super real sleep paralysis dream, like, he's being fucked with by that doll.
Yeah.
And to the extent of it strangling him until he blacks out, that is so creepy.
That is so creepy. I am not for it.
Nope. Big old nope.
That's a nope for me.
Hard pass. So on another occasion, Lou and Angie are in the apartment preparing for a trip that Lou was going to take the next day. They then begin to start hearing some rustling noises coming from Donna's room. Lou, being a very brave human, approaches the door to her room and opens it after the rustling has subsided. He sees the Annabelle doll laying on the floor in the corner. He begins to walk over to the doll, but is suddenly overcome with a dreadful sense that someone is standing behind him. He spins around, but nobody is there. Out of nowhere, he's falling over, grabbing his chest, which is now bleeding, and covered in claw-like scratches that faced vertically and horizontally.
Oh, was it 3 marks?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
They just said claw-like scratches.
I was just wondering. It's a thing. Don't worry about it.
Oh, sus! Sus AF!
Sus AF.
He said that the scratches were hot to the touch, that they felt like they were burning, but they healed rapidly within 2 days. Weird.
That is weird. So it's a demon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a demon.
I know things.
Yeah,
I listen to podcasts.
No, yeah, for real. Yeah, and so after this incident, Donna contacts a priest. So Donna also is not the fucking man behind the scenes here, because Donna is like, okay, I'm scared. What do you do when some shit is possessed? You call a priest. Good job, Donna.
Let's get the Bible in here.
Throw it at someone.
Throw it at somebody. Thump them on the head.
Thump them on the head. Use the Bible as a weapon physically.
Spiritually, physically, emotionally.
Maybe.
So
the priest gets in contact with Lorraine and Ed Warren, self-proclaimed demonologists and paranormal investigators.
Oh, yeah. They're so famous.
Calling in the big guns.
Hey, the Warrens.
The Warrens. What?
In the house.
Lorraine and Ed urged the priest to hold an exorcism on the apartment and to bless the individuals involved with holy water. Donna then surrenders the doll to the care of the Warrens. The Warrens place Annabelle in a glass box located in their occult museum in Monroe, Connecticut. The Warrens believe that the doll was being manipulated by an inhuman presence. So a demon.
Yeah.
Yeah, they believe that the doll was using the guise of the child as like a front, you know? That like the demon.
I'm innocent.
Yeah, I'm just like a sweet little girl. Let me be in your house so I can kill Lou.
Yep.
Ooh. So fucking creepy.
So creepy.
Gross. The glass case which holds Annabelle is also, I don't know, it's like adorned with a tarot card depicting the devil and has like a note on it that urges visitors not to touch it.
Sure.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Sure, like whatever gets you money, I guess.
Yeah. But unfortunately, Donna, Angie, and Lou were not the only people to which Annabelle caused harm. A young man and his girlfriend came to the occult museum and took a tour offered by Ed Warren. During the tour, as they passed the Annabelle doll, the young man ran up to its case and began taunting the doll by tapping on the glass and screaming at it to put scratches on him like it did to Lou.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ed Warren promptly kicked the man and his girlfriend out of the museum. Approximately 3 hours later, the man died when he lost control of his motorcycle and hit a tree. His girlfriend survived after being taken to the hospital, but her injuries were so bad that she remained hospitalized for a year. Although Lorraine and Ed Warren have now both passed away, their occult museum is still operating in Monroe, Connecticut. You can visit the Annabelle doll in her glass box to this day. But maybe heed the warning and don't touch it, especially don't yell at her. Maybe bless yourself before entering. But then also, as Jenna said, Annabelle's apparently on the loose, so you're not safe.
Yep, no one's safe. We don't know where she is. Yes. Also, please, Kara, I love you so much. Do not ever talk about Robert the doll. I'm sorry.
Robert the doll?
Yes, now you have to apologize.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Wait, what?
Nope. Don't ever talk about Robert the frickin' doll. That doll has wreaked havoc on my dreams, and I cannot have any
Wait,
more of
are
it.
you talking about Fisherman Dave?
No.
Who's Robert the
you
doll?
You can look it up on your own time.
Oh.
Don't research. Don't talk about Robert the doll on this podcast. You can ask, and that's why we drink about it.
Oh, okay. So you talked about Robert the doll, but we should really talk about Fisherman Dave.
Yeah, you want to know something real fast?
Yeah.
Because every freaking time, okay, especially Robert the motherfucking doll, reminds me of Fisherman Dave.
Ooh.
Now, please, Kara, enlighten us all and tell us who Fisherman Dave is.
I would love to. I would hate to. I would love to. So Fisherman Dave is a doll that I used to be in possession of because I thought it was really funny. So I found Fisherman Dave when I was like 17 years old or something like that.
We have pictures with him.
Yeah. Yes. So creepy looking. So I found Fisherman Dave at a flea market in Indiana, in like Franklin, Indiana, I think. And so I'm like wandering about this flea market and I come to a stand that is unoccupied and there's like tables. It's like kind of like an office cubicle and tables lining the walls, all covered with stuff, and there's stuff on the floor. And for some reason, I noticed that underneath one of the tables is a little stuffed fish. So I kneel under the table to pick up the fish. And then I notice that there is like a breadcrumb dropping of these stuffed cloth fishes. And so I climb under these tables, picking up these fishes. And then I find Fisherman Dave. Fisherman Dave was about, he was like a 3-foot tall, stuffed like cloth doll that looked like a hobo.
Yep.
He had like cotton ball hair and a beard and like painted on eyes and face and like long gangly appendages and like weird creepy hands and feet. And I loved him. He was so fucking horrifying. I had to keep him.
She brought him to high school with her for Christmas.
Oh, that's amazing. I don't remember that. I was obsessed with him. I brought him to all kinds of different places and would make people take pictures with me. I made him his own like MySpace page.
Oh my God.
Or something. Either MySpace or Facebook. Yeah, he had his own page. But then I started having, like, I had really bad sleep paralysis issues in high school, and I started having all these, like, sleep paralysis and, like, nightmares about Fisherman Dave trying to kill me. Like, he'd have, like, razor-sharp teeth and be attacking me and shit. Oh, my
God.
Yeah, and then it ended up that I was in a friend's car and forgot him in the car, and then that was the last time I ever saw that person. We just stopped being friends. They didn't die or anything.
Sure.
But then I was like, oh, he's been passed on. Not going to seek that out, you know?
Yeah.
I was like really troubled. Like I had a bunch of really fucked up dreams about him. And I was like, yep, just going to let you haunt somebody else now.
Have fun. Goodbye.
Yeah. Goodbye.
He was creepy.
Yeah, he was super creepy.
He was really fucking creepy. We're going to have to share a picture of that too.
Oh, yeah. I'll dig one out.
I have it somewhere.
Ooh, that would be a good
I have one from Christmas at our high school.
Oh, that's amazing.
You're holding Fisherman Dave.
Is it like our class
and I'm
picture?
Santa Claus.
Yeah. Okay. I have that picture too somewhere. I'll look for it.
Okay. Cool. You might find it before I do. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nope. That's what I think of literally, especially with this Raggedy Ann one, because obviously like Fisherman Dave was super floppy and cottony.
Yeah.
But also Robert the doll because it's really creepy.
Not looking that up.
Yeah, don't. I'm sorry. It's stories like these. It's the same thing. Like I can't watch horror movies also because I just get freaked out. I'm like, even if like my like rational brain is like, oh, like here's all of the options that it could be, right? Like this person wanted attention, or this person this and that, or this thing happened, or like science. For some reason, it doesn't matter. My irrational mind is like, but what if? And I'm like, yeah, okay, I do kind of believe, but I don't want to.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard. I'm very torn. Wow. Annabelle, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
The real story of Chucky is even worse.
I don't
swear.
want to. Don't. Mm-mm.
I like barely read into it and it scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, let's not.
Let's not and say we didn't. Okay, Jenna, what you got for me?
All right. Well, I'm glad that you didn't cover the same story that I covered because I covered a local story.
Ooh.
Yeah. I also told you I was going to tell you a personal story.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You can choose which one you want first. Personal, local. Well, the personal is local. They're both local. Personal or not personal.
Tell me your personal first.
Okay.
Sweet.
So my personal story is about my grandmother's house. My step grandmother's house. I have a lot of grandmas, okay? I'm a millennial. We have broken families all over the place. It's fine. Anyway, I'm kind of a millennial.
Our family tree looks like that photo from It's Always Sunny with Charlie, and he's got like the spider web of conspiracy theories.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Like
modern
that.
day family trees.
Yeah, it's like the end of a root where everything kind of gets like there's a lot of just splits in the roots.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
It's not a tree anymore. It's just the root system.
We're down. Yeah, we're down in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my personal story is from my step grandmother. My step grandmother. I know. Confusing. Anyway, let's go on. So my grandma has had this house for like the past 40 years, I want to say. The house is at this point probably over 120 years old.
Oh, wow. For our area, that's like really old, actually.
Yeah, it's very old. So this house has creep vibes. Like it has some serious creepy freaking vibes. Like you go in it and like to explain, my grandmother reminds me of like Stevie Nicks and
Ooh.
like she's a witch. She's like a witch.
She's like an alligator fairy witch.
Alligator fairy witch.
Sounds good.
She's super rock and roll and
Does she have dope bangs?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she does.
Hell yeah.
Yes. She has had some dope bangs. Now, I have always been afraid to be anywhere alone in this house. My entire life, it has freaked me out to be alone in this house.
That's when you know it's bad, when a kid is like, nope, big fucking nope. Don't leave me alone here. I'm gonna get eaten by demons.
Yeah, it's so scary. There's one room in particular, and when we were kids, me and my cousins, it was like the playroom, and there was a big sectional couch in there, and there was a little tiny TV from the frickin' like 70s that was like turned green, you know?
Yeah. It just had
with
snow.
the dial on it. Yeah, it was. But this room in general was just, I didn't like to be in it with other people, and I would never be in this room alone. I don't know why. There's nothing that ever happened. There were just toys and color books and stuff in there, and a couch and a TV. Nothing to be scared of, but it was terrifying. Also, from the time that I was a baby, like my farthest memory back being at that house until the last time I stayed the night there as a like 17-year-old, I have had the same sort of dream.
No.
Every single time. My grandmother sleeps in like a nightgown, like an old-fashioned looking type of nightgown.
Like grandmothers do.
Like a granny nightgown. Every single night, wherever I'm sleeping in that house, if I'm sleeping on the pull-out, like little chair thing that flips down, you know, those old chairs that
yeah. It's like a pull-out couch, but it's a recliner.
No, it's like they go on the floor. It's like a kid's chair, and it's like 3 couch cushions that fold out. Yes.
Those things are cool.
Those things are cool. Slept on that, and I wake up in the middle of the night, and there is a woman either standing above my head or at my feet, and she's wearing a long nightgown. And she resembles my grandmother. And she just stands there and she watches me. And I'll look at her and then I will turn and I will go back to sleep. Every single time that I have ever stayed the night in this house, I have had that same thing happen to me until I was 17 years old.
Oh my God, I have such bad goosebumps right now.
It was kind of crazy. And so I remember being 14 or so, and I brought it up to her. And I'm like, and we were talking about the other things that I'll get into that happened there that were also weird. I'm not the only one. I am not the only one. And I brought it up and I'm like, what happens? I have never said anything until now, Grandma, but every single time I've stayed the night here, I wake up in the middle of the night and there is a woman with like light colored hair and a nightgown on standing over me, watching me. And I'm not afraid of her. She's not scary, but she's always there every time. She's like, if she looks like me, maybe it's just my spirit wandering around the house, making sure that everyone's okay at night. And she kind of just left it at that. And I was like, yeah, okay. That made me feel a lot better because after I was 14 and I told her that and she said that, I'm like, yeah, you know what? It's not a threatening presence. Maybe that is kind of what it is like,
yeah, just
my grandma checking in.
That's sweet.
And it was really sweet. And so after that, I haven't had any, I wasn't like, oh my God. I would stay the night there all the time too. I loved it there once, especially after then. After I talked to her about it.
Oh, wow.
But I'm not the only one who's had weird stuff happen there. Obviously, she's lived there for a long time. My uncle used to have the bedroom that was the playroom.
No. Okay.
Yep. And this house is old as fuck.
This should be juicy.
So he has always been afraid of the closet in this room.
Why are closets so bad?
I don't know.
They're bad. I don't know why.
I don't know. But there wasn't a doorknob on the inside of this closet. There was only one on the outside of the closet. He swears up until, I don't remember the last time I actually talked to him about this, but he has said in front of other adults and stuff, that closet, I used to be so afraid of my bedroom because the doorknob would rattle in the middle of the night. But there is nothing on the inside. It's not like a cat was stuck in the closet or something. There was no doorknob inside the closet.
Oh my God. And when have you ever seen a doorknob rattle, other than when somebody is trying to open it? That's not something you see.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's one of those old, heavy doorknobs, with the,
yeah.
they're extra old and just shaky.
No.
So it's not a regular, if you got a doorknob from the Home Depot and it's old, antique looking doorknob.
You got to move it in a certain way to get it to open even.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It gets worse. Okay. Upstairs was my stepmom and my aunt's bedroom. They shared this whole upstairs area. There's so much. I'm not going to get into all of it. But one night, my aunt, there's crawl spaces. The ones that are little short doorways.
No, those are the fucking worst
yeah.
ones, dude. As a fucking cleaning person that has to go into houses by myself, I hate that.
I'm sorry.
Hate that.
Because my aunt was always really freaked out by them. And my stepmom too. She's like, yeah, they were really creepy or whatever. And we never went in them, ever.
Mm-mm.
So my aunt is sleeping on her bed. Her bed is right above, the foot of her bed is right next to this closet.
Why would you do that to a child?
I mean, you couldn't really do much.
Oh no, that's torture.
There's not a ton of space up there. So apparently the way this room was set up, that's just kind of how it was. They're sharing a room.
Fucking screw a board into it at least.
Right. So she wakes up in the middle of the night and her leg is halfway inside of this crawl space.
No.
Yeah.
The door had come off?
The door went open.
No.
Yes, because it was on hinges like a regular door. But
and it opened
tiny.
inside into the crawl space?
No, into the room. And her leg was inside of it.
Oh, God.
Uh-huh.
That's horrible. That's the worst thing I've ever heard in my whole life.
There's also some crazy true crime stuff that's happened in this house. But, since my grandma has lived there, crazy true crime stuff. I'll get into with you after the podcast. But in about, I don't know, whenever smartphones started to really like come out and be a thing, like not many people had them yet. Most people still had flip phones and Blackberries and shit. But my uncle is a early adapter and he's big on like getting the newest and latest things. He gets a smartphone. He's all about downloading apps. He's like, oh, Mom, it's like Thanksgiving or Christmas or something. He's like, I got this ghost hunter app. I'm going to take it around the house.
No.
Oh, yeah. Okay. As my freaking uncle's going around the house, he goes like near the sink and it says a couple words. Like it just pops up. It's almost like a spirit box or something like that.
So it's like a video and it has words that come up or something, or
it's just kind of like if you can picture it as just like, it's a black screen and it's almost like a little radar looking thing.
Okay.
And it's just going around the house. It's very, very early into this smartphone technology. So it's very rudimentary. And as it goes, it'll have like a sound wave. Like we'll see when we send out on social media, we have like the audio sample thing. It'll send out one of those and it shows up with a word. And so obviously that seems like it could be very like randomly generated.
Yeah.
You know, and most of it did seem to be randomly generated. And he came back with a couple. He's like, oh my gosh, it just said this thing while I was in this room, or it just said this thing while I was here. He goes up to my uncle, whose name is Leaf.
Yeah, that's not common.
No, it's not common. Goes up to my uncle Leaf, holds it up to him, and the fucking phone says, Leaf.
That's
and reads
weird.
out the word leaf on the screen in front of all of us. It was, and I'm like, you know, very skeptical of especially like just an app, like how ridiculous. But it gave me the chill, like, to this day, especially because it's not like something someone's like, oh, I woke up halfway in a closet. I'm like, yeah, okay, you could be telling me a whole crock of shit.
Mm-hmm. Well, after your dad's alien story,
I know.
it'd be hard to believe anything.
Bleed anything.
It'd be hard to bleed anything.
It's hard to bleed anymore.
I'm all out of blood. This is what being an adult is.
Just don't bleed in anything.
Just don't bleed in anything. Really, though, I need that as like a cute sign in my house.
Let's make merch.
Just don't bleed in anything.
I don't bleed in anything.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, so that freaked me out a lot. Also, there's like stories about the basement that I will tell you afterward.
Oh,
spooky true
please
crime.
do.
I
Don't.
will.
Please do. Don't.
I'm gonna. You can't stop me.
Well, yeah, I tortured you with Annabelle, so I guess it's my karma.
That's fair. And you know what? Actually, I think I'll save my story until next week with Montana because we're over an hour already.
Are we?
Yeah, we're into it.
Okay.
All right. That was a good conversation, though. We've had some good ones. So, yeah, that's the story. That took a little bit longer. I thought it was going to be a fast one. That's why I didn't want to tell it.
Oh, I see. Well, it was juicy. It was a good one.
Thank you.
Oh, I hate that thing about the foot and the crawl space. Yeah, that's bad.
There are others. It's just creepy because I've been in the house and I'm like, I have my own experiences there.
Mm-hmm.
And then pretty much everyone else who's been there is like, oh yeah, I have like this thing, or my grandma being like, yeah, someone said this, or oh yeah, this thing happened also. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
Burn the house, please.
This house is for sure haunted.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. So that's the thing that makes me believe that there's something. Otherwise, I feel like everyone else could tell me a story of like, this crazy thing happened and I want to explain it away.
Yeah, your rational brain is like, there's an explanation.
Yeah, I don't have enough details of this story to know beyond the shadow of a doubt what's happening. So yeah, thank you to our listeners once again for enduring yet another episode of the Sweating Palms Podcast. Oh, yeah. This was a good one. I really enjoyed this episode a lot.
Yeah, me too. This was fun. I
Thank
needed
you.
it for sure.
Yeah, it sounds like it's been quite a week for you. So, wonderful. Yeah, thank you all. I would love nothing more, especially you regular listeners. I know who you are. I see you. I want to know who you are. I want to know about you. I want to know your like, what do you like? What do you not like? Do you also get embarrassed and awkward and anxious? I bet you maybe do sometimes. So tell me about it. Our email is sweatingpalmspod@gmail.com. One more time. What is it again, Kara?
Sweatingpalmspod@gmail.com.
Wow, you're so good at this. You can find us on social media at Sweating Palms Pod. That's on Facebook, Instagram, and something else, YouTube.
It's YouTube.
Yes, fuck, god damn it. We're also on Twitter at sweating_palms, and we have a Patreon page. If you ever felt so inclined to donate to that, the URL is www.patreon.com/sweatingpalmspod. And I think that's pretty much it.
Wait, but what are you grateful for?
Oh, shit.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta tell me. We have to end at a... This is the Disney movie after the horror movie, so that you can fall asleep at night.
Da-na-na-na. Okay, sorry. Let me take this pirate hat off.
Okay.
What are you thankful for?
Okay. Yeah, I've had a hard time with that this week, actually. I'm like, definitely been just like, fuck everything, for sure.
Yeah.
But I am super grateful for Tal, actually, because he's been like, I can see that he is trying like really hard to like be there for me. And it's, it's really hard to be there for somebody who is like
Not there.
yeah, who's not there, who's just like in zombie mode, who is like frantic, who is like, I've just been like crying a bunch and stuff. It's super hard to like be patient and loving and compassionate and in a relationship with someone when they're like really out of sorts. And so I'm very grateful for Tal. This is also not the first time. Like, he's been there for me through a lot of really hard things.
Yeah.
So I'm very grateful that he remains as patient and calm and compassionate as he is capable of being.
That's so wonderful.
Yeah.
That's so good job, Tal. You're the real MVP.
Yeah, you're the MVP of my heart.
That's so cute. Fuck. Y'all cute and shit.
Oh, my face is turning red.
Oh, it really is so red. Your veins are popping out of your forehead. It's real cute. Oli olio, Tal.
Oli olio.
Oh, that's so sweet. I love it. I love it. Oh, so this sounds like a dumbass thing to say as a parent, but I'm so grateful for my children this week. My oldest has just been so sweet in the last few months and really making me feel very important, I guess. And my youngest is an asshole most of the time. So
it means a lot when your kids are nice to you.
When she's nice, it's so good. She's 4 freaking years old, which is, as parents know, the worst age. 3 and 4 is just awful. I mean, I haven't had teenagers yet, so don't kill me here. But last night, as I'm tucking my youngest into bed, she says, "Oh, well, I thought we were going to play games tonight," because she has no reference of what time is. And I said, "No, honey, that's Friday, not today." She says, Oh, okay. Well, I am so excited to play games with you. Can we sleep in the living room too? And I said, "Oh, yeah, we can probably do that on Friday because then it's not a school night." And she just looked at me, and it was just this face that only a child can give you. And she said, Oh, good. I am so excited to be able to play with you and Montana, but not really Montana, mostly you. And it made me feel so important in that moment.
Yeah.
And like, it just feels good because 2020 has not been the year. It is, for anyone, I understand that literally as a world, like as Earth, we are personally not having a great time, right? I started out 2021 feeling the best that I ever had and the most optimistic that I ever had. And I went from feeling my highest to immediately being over, literally at the drop of a hat. I felt lower than I had ever been and hopeless and helpless. And I was definitely not fucking parent of the year. And it was really dark. And so to be able to be feeling those things about myself and then to have my child so happy to like be able to play a game with me and to have a sleepover with me, and she's just beaming and you can see the joy in her eyes, it makes me feel like it's worth it.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's the fucking sugar right there.
Yeah. So that's really it. That's what I'm grateful for because it's been a freaking year, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you.
And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
God damn it. Thank you. And that is a freaking wrap. I'm going to say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Later.